Roll call on the, this is on the regular meeting, the official, elected official meeting.
Billy Cloud,
Here.
Clark McCleary,
Here.
Larry Walton,
Here.
Sean Hudspeth,
Here.
Tina Oaks,
Here.
Holly Hinton,
Here.
Terry Garland, Hannah Laber.
And on our Commissioner Special Agenda meeting, we call it, open it up.
Roll call.
Roll call.
Clark McCleary,
Here.
Larry Watson,
Here.
Billy Cloud.
Yes. Okay, on the elected officials meeting, we have any new business?
I've got some things. So I've been speaking with the auditors, and going forward, we're going to have everyone take over their bidding for their fuel. And then we're gonna have everyone take over their travel claims and their payments, their lease payments. I know that's gonna be a big adjustment.
I mean, we're already doing ours.
Yes, we've got you guys started on y'all's. District 3's had theirs for a while, but we'll help you guys, District 1, get started on it.
No problem.
And that's just good policy because everyone needs to be encumbering their own purchase orders.
Fuel building, travel claims, and what was the other one?
Lease payments.
Please say it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have payment books on most of that?
We have all that in our office. And we helped District 2 get started on theirs. We've helped District 3 get started, which they've had theirs for quite a while now. We'll help Tony help you guys any way we can.
Only thing wasn't a payment book on was the revolving fund, wasn't it? The state stuff. It was just a printout, told you what day. But
Some of them have actual payment books.
the revolving fund to the state,
No, that was a printout.
yeah, that was the only one. Everything else was through a bank on ours. I didn't know if Clark had anything on revolving fund or not.
Yeah, I've got a
We
dump
have
truck.
one, right?
Yeah.
So it won't have a
I
printout.
think that's the only payment book.
Then I have one other thing. So I was contacted by Opers, and I kind of talked to them some more about it yesterday. They had sent out some information September, October, and to let everyone know, or to let our office know, that the sheriff's deputies and the jailers would be receiving, or their Opers with percentage would change on the hazard pay. I don't know where the ball was dropped, but it wasn't applied to payroll in November. I wasn't aware of it when I did payroll in December. But we've got everything good for January. So they will have to bill the county for the extra 4%. It changed from the normal 4 to 8% for hazard pay. That's about 25 employees, and that's gonna be 2 months worth. Normally that would have came out of the employee's pocket, but I don't know how you go back and bill them for something that did not get done in our office.
So Opers is gonna bill county.
Holly, do you have any idea how the?
Yeah, you can, it's just, you can only take an extra percentage. So where it normally would have come out of their check in 2 months, you can stretch it out, depending on the amount, 6 to 8 months. And you'll just take an extra small percent so that it ends at the end of the year, and then it's a catch-up.
So you just amortize it.
And it'll be a catch-up withholding for them. Normally, and that was the thing, you know, just like when we go back and prorate, like when they gave raises and things, normally those are a separate line item, so that they're listed as catch-ups and things like that. Because it's always a bad scenario to put that in as all one payroll line, because then you'll have an employee that assumes, oh, well, that's what I get every time, you know, because it's not on a separate line item as listed as a catch-up. But you can talk to Kelpro about that. That's how they should be setting it up for
We need to get that explained to Terry, that it's gonna come out on prorated for the next 6 months. And it's people, because the county's already paid the 16 points on it, so it has to come out of the employee side.
Yeah, because otherwise you'd have to have like an opinion for the county to assume their catch-up, yeah.
But he needs to explain it to his people.
I was hoping he would be here because he knows, I don't know that he's gonna take it very well.
You may have to explain it to these people, I mean, they all need to be there, I mean, it needs to be in writing.
And that probably, if you had a meeting with them, would probably be the best case scenario. So that everybody got it at one time,
Well,
the
not
same
everybody
way.
gets word of mouth, it's just here it is.
I think you'll so, thank you for explaining that, Ms. Holly. Okay, now you wanna jump over on a special meeting, on the 3rd, discuss and consider possibility of county website.
Okay, I asked for that to be put on there. I didn't know if anyone has ever even thought about us having a county website. But, CalPro, they can set up a county website. It's, called okcounties.org. And I got a proposal from them that what they can do, every department would have their own page. You would have access to the page, you can update it however you want to update it, you can put the links that we want on there, like, I know you're on a website, those links can be on the county website. For my office, I could have ODCR and OSCN and the passport website, just, whatever links we need to put on there. And each individual office would have a login to update their page or their part of it. There's an alert banner that if there's a road closure or courthouse closure or something like that, that can be posted on there. You can post videos on there if we wanted to post the commissioners' meetings. I'm trying to think. There's a lot of things that can be done with it. Of course, there is a fee, But I did get a proposal if anyone's interested, and I don't know if anyone is interested. It's only going to be beneficial to the county if we're willing to keep it updated. If you just get it set up and it just sits there and no updates are ever made, it's not going to be beneficial and it's not going to be worth money.
So we have to manage it ourselves.
Somebody would have to manage it, right?
Yes.
Each department,
Each
really.
department would be able to manage their own section, and I'll just put it like their own page of it or whatever. And just like I would have a login and I could update all of my information.
As far as the page design and everything, though, CalPro handles that, you just tell them what to.
Yes.
Does it have a secure email option?
Yes.
That was gonna be my question.
Because that
Yes,
is
you
something we
can
talked
have
about.
emails set up through it. Each email address does have a fee to it.
Okay.
The videos, I just said that the videos could be posted, there is a fee for that. But other than the emails and the videos, it's a it's a yearly fee, there's a one-time setup fee and then a yearly fee. If you wanted email addresses or if you wanted the videos, that is extra to the annual fee.
What about publishing our minutes? Could we get away from the newspaper and that cost if we spend the money on
I don't
this?
think you can get away from publishing, that has to be in a newspaper, doesn't it, like a county newspaper? But you can upload your agendas, your meetings, resolutions, all that stuff, you can upload to it.
I know that was one thing that they had talked to us about in Fall Coda. I went to the cybersecurity class, is that the state is going to be pushing for these emails, the secure email, because Yahoo's, we're not even compatible with some of the different, systems.
My office needs a secure email because there are a lot of businesses that want to turn in their business personal property renditions each year by email, and I don't allow them to do that because we have a Yahoo site, and so it would benefit my office. I would be willing to look at, what they
Kind of money we're
as
looking
far
at
as a
then.
proposal.
The setup was around, I believe the setup was around 2,200, and then The annual fee is around, let's see, the setup is $22.29, and then the annual fee is $35.73. To have videos live streamed, it's a $500 annual fee. And then the email addresses are $100 per email address. But I mean, if you wanted to do that, I do have a secure email. I have it through Supreme Court. But if you wanted to have that, you could have assessor at, just one per office. You would have to have one per individual employee.
A lot of companies that we deal with won't email us anything unless we have a department email, so we've gone through Wave 11 who provides our phone service and stuff.
We dealt with that with US Sailor also. They wouldn't send us our contract stuff because Yahoo wasn't, they said it wasn't actually a professional email, so.
But it's free.
But, I mean, if your email is on there, I mean, the citizens of the county or whoever would have access to it to send it directly to, and it wouldn't be, I mean, I do have a Supreme Court email, and I mean, anyone can send anything to me. That's not a problem, it's just.
So the first 2 years be 11,200 for the base. Right there, pretty close.
I trust you, I didn't
And
add it all
then
up.
it'd be 3,500 a year after that, so.
So, I have a proposal, I've got some information, and Kelpro is willing to do a demo if we wanted to set up a time for a demo. If you're interested, it's not gonna hurt my feelings if you're not, but I just thought it would be something beneficial to the county.
I think you'll set up time with them, let them come in, explain, everybody come in, price
We
is
could do
right,
that.
if they need it.
Anybody
Sounds
else
like
provides a
everybody's
service like
supposed to be
this?
a good thing.
There probably is, I just went with, I know Kelpro.
Right.
And so I just talked to them, I'm sure there are other companies, but, they have a number of counties that they deal with already, and they recommended, if you wanted to kind of look at a county that handles, or does a lot of the features, it's Custer County. You can go to okcounties.org, the list of counties that they service is on there, and click on Custer County, and they do the feature, they do all the features. Some of the counties don't. It's just like general information, they don't do updates, and to me, if you're not gonna do your updates or alerts or whatever, it may not be worth the money. If you're not gonna upload your agenda or your minutes or whatever.
So if we decided to do that, I would assume that the base costs of everything, we would just separate that equally between the offices, the fee, or
I-
we pay it
I
from
had
the county?
thought of that.
I just build it into the budget and just pay for it. I mean, I wouldn't want to take that each department. It's all coming out of the general, other than road districts anyway, right? So we can just put it in there, line item for the budget, or in the budget for the website.
And I did tell them that if we decided to do this, it would be something for our new budget, not like setting up in the middle of the
Yeah.
budget. And they said they do that all the time. They get proposals, they know 6 months out or whatever, but then when the new budget starts, that may be when they set it up, so.
I think it's a good idea.
I've got the information, I can make copies to everybody or email it to everybody, whatever y'all want, but, I'll do that.
Line them up when it kind of works for everybody.
And set up a demo. Okay, I'll do that though.
Hey, you want to go back to the new business and explain that to Terry?
Yeah, we need to go back to new business, and because Terry, they had some stuff to discuss with you.
I apologize for being late, but we had fire to put out.
Yeah, I understand.
So on that hazardous duty employees, did Michelle explain that to you?
No.
She did not, okay. So the normal contribution rate for employees on OPERS, regular employees, not elected officials, was the 4%.
And she said it went up to 8%.
It went up to 8% for jailers and deputies.
Okay.
You're excluded from that because you have the elected official. And the way they kind of explained it to me is in 20 years, you can get off of that if you're still doing hazardous duty. And then you can go back to normal contribution rate. It pays more into your OPERS.
Right, but that's why they can offer the 20-year retirement now.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. The not so good thing about that though is it should have been implemented in November on payroll, And so there's 2 months that it didn't get done. They contacted me about it for January, we got everything fixed on January's payroll for it. But in order to make up those 2 months that were missed, Holly kind of explained that we'll have to do a different percentage, kind of to take it out slowly,
Make it up.
to make it up, and it'll come out of the employees' paychecks.
Okay.
I know that's probably not
I think Michelle
ideal.
typed up something, she didn't tell me what it was in regards to, but she said it was in regards to that,
Mhm,
going up to 8%,
mhm.
and she's putting up everybody's checks today.
Okay. I know it's not ideal because we had the whole insurance debacle, but,
But she'll have to go back and get back money for the next,
Right.
back after.
mhm.
I mean, that's understood.
And the
But-
county's already paid the percentage, so it has to come out of the employee side.
They would've lost it anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah, well, I'll explain that to them, even though it's another firewall.
What'd you say, you think you could take it over to up to 6 months maybe?
Yeah, I think they can spread it out. I think 2%, it used to be the figure, is they could do it as like 2% out of each one till they got.
There
it
should
all
be a statute
recouped.
on that, shouldn't there?
Yeah, and it falls under the same, like if they're having to do, make up child support, and you do it just like ones that are having to pay in arrears. The same.
She,
Understood.
Oprah's did tell me to call them back after I spoke with commissioners and with you about it,
Okay.
because I didn't feel comfortable telling them, yeah, let's do it this way, without talking to you guys first.
It's gotta be done, so,
Mhm. It does.
not gonna keep first and get it done.
Sounds good. Back to the regular meeting on number 5, discuss and consider longevity bonuses.
Okay, I asked this. I asked this also. There are statutes, that the county workers could be placed on, or a longevity plan could be put in our handbook. And employees could receive a longevity bonus or a performance-based, I can't remember, one of the two. But anyway, I know that the road hands, the county barns, they get a safety bonus.
Are
Is that-
eligible for
Are
$250
eligible for it.
for a no loss time. It's just a safety deal.
Mhm. And I know now the deputies can get a bonus,
Yeah, I'll be
um,
good.
so,
For a grant.
through a grant.
Right.
The courthouse employees, there's not a bonus set up for them. I would like to, and see if there's any way we could get that done, or if we
I
can
think
get
we
it
need-
done, or
Put it in the handbook.
or not.
I think we need to put it in the handbook and
The bonus part, would it be like a certain percent?
Well, it can be based on the state longevity plan, or there's also a performance bonus. That it can be, I think we could come up with a figure, that's not, and I think it would have to be if the budget will allow it. We're not going to take money away.
I'd like to look at
Harm the
something
budget,
that
but.
we had carryover. If we had a certain amount of carryover and we exceeded that, then it would be an option.
Mhm.
If we got a shortfall, it's
It
just like,
could
it's
be,
just like
yeah.
commissioner's salary coming out. If it doesn't look good, that's the first thing that's gonna come off the budget. But
That figure, of course, going to be a lump sum deal or coming to a certain percent?
Yeah.
it's a longevity, so it's so much a year they're eligible for.
Roughly on 2%, would you take it,
Well,
No matter how many years you work, that's what
Yeah,
longevity
the
pays.
state,
That's a-
yeah,
Yeah.
the state has it, and theirs is to go up to $2,000. I'm not, saying it has to be exactly, it can be consistent with the state program, but it doesn't have to be exactly the state program. But it's, they have a range of 2 to 4 years, it's a certain amount, 4 to 6 years, it's a certain amount, all the way up to 20 years, and I would just like for us to talk about it, and I know it would have to go into the handbook, so that's
Yeah.
another policy and procedure deal, that kind
But
of
we've got a lot of stuff
do
we're gonna
some
have to.
research on it, and
We really need
And
PNP on.
I'd like to have it done by budget,
it would, it would have to be done.
because if not, it'd have to roll. We gotta get in our policy and procedure.
If we're
Yeah.
interested in doing that.
you figure out how to be paid, how much? That was
Are they eligible for
what
their
we did
safety
that
like
forward to,
quarterly, or is it
Mhm.
annually?
That's only for the road districts.
I know, but is it
No, it's yearly.
yearly? I just didn't know if you did them
No.
quarterly or annually.
If you don't have any loss, I'll base mine if you don't have any lost time during the year
Mhm.
for accidents, they get it at Christmas.
At Christmas, but that's it.
And those can be standalone policies, they don't have to be in the handbook, but I would rather everything, if we're gonna redo it, put it all in there. But we'll need to figure out what the carryover needs to be to make, to energize
Yeah,
that, to make
and
it eligible.
if we're not gonna have a carryover, then it's just not an option.
Right, right. But we need to have an amount.
So, I don't know if everyone's for something like that, but it's an idea.
If we can afford it, I'm for it.
All 20-year employees and above get 2,000 a year or something?
No,
No, on the, okay, I was just reading the state longevity plan. And the statute that I was looking at says that the counties can do something consistent with the state longevity plan, but it doesn't have to be exact.
But that's
But,
kind of what the state's,
that's
At
the cap.
least 20 years, at least 20 years is $2,000. But if it's, 2 to 4 years, then it's $250. 4 to 6 years is $426, and it goes all the way down to 20 years. And then even after 20 years, for each additional 2 years of service, after the first 20, it's $200 added on to that 2,000. That's state. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's just something to
Yeah.
ponder.
have
Think
to
on.
just figure out and see what we can afford when we
Mhm.
set our budget.
Yeah.
So,
And that's not just for the clerical offices, that applies to the road districts also.
Okay.
The safety deal, the way I understand it, is just for the road districts, but this longevity pay, it's a separate deal, so
Okay.
I did find out this morning.
Would it apply to the sheriff's deputies and,
I don't know, I mean, they're getting $2,000 a year bonus, the way it is through that grant, I'm sure they're probably eligible for it, but
I mean, if the road hands are gonna get $250 and longevity, it'd be the same
No.
for, wouldn't it?
they just told me that it was $250 for the road hands, for the road districts.
And they couldn't.
I don't know, I just know that was what I didn't even ask about the
I'm all
sheriff's.
about offering any kind of incentive to employees to keep
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
But just like that grant, it didn't cost us anything for those bonuses.
No.
Right, and like longevity is separate from safety, it's also separate from hazard, so.
It's not the
I mean,
standalone.
And who's to say this, we don't get this grant again, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Well, just in order to kind of get a final dollar amount, kind of need to know how many, what y'all's breakdown is gonna be, and then how many employees fall into each breakdown, so that we can get an idea of, okay,
Yeah.
this is what the final cost is gonna be for this.
That's what we got
I
to
did,
know
yeah.
before we can afford to see. if we
Right.
can-
Yeah, yeah,
That's the whole.
but if we could get, like, just a breakdown as to what you're thinking time-wise.
Yes.
5 years, if you wanna do it at like 5, 10, 15, and 20.
Make it mirror the state, that's the easiest way, just like the time and the leave, it needs to mirror that. I think we need to adjust our cap,
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah,
because
we
that
could-
legislation just passed, just this year. It went from 1,000 to 2,000,
okay.
so that's a pretty new deal.
So,
So you're talking about that year range, not the dollar
The
amount,
dollar
right?
amount, the dollar amount doubled. The
I know,
dollar-
but I'm saying to mirror.
Yeah,
It would be the year range you're talking about, not the dollar amount to mirror the state.
Yeah, I wouldn't wanna put a $2,000
Right.
cap on it, I don't think we can stand that, I know we can't stand it.
Right.
And it all needs to be contingent on our carryover, we need to have a mark that we carry over 1,200,000 or 1,000,001 before it's even to be considered. That's,
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
what I'd
I agree
suggest.
there.
well, you almost got to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't wanna
Well, you know,
freeze
I
the
Cut it down
budget.
the road.
when we first, this year, we done the commissioner's salary. But, I mean, that's the first thing's gonna come off if there's a shortfall.
Mhm.
Well,
So who should we get this comprised information to, like, if I say I've got one that's been there 15 years, one that's 10 years, who do I need to give this to? Who's gonna work it
Well, we need to find out for sure
I'll be the lucky one.
how we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know, and how many
Right.
years you gotta have to get it, and then how much it's gonna cost before we ever try to see, you know.
Well, to figure what it will cost, they'll have to know how many employees we
Yeah.
have and how long they've been there, so.
But you
And
gotta
will the
figure out,
road
if you're
districts,
gonna
will
have
that
for
come out of
5
the road
years,
district or the general?
two, you know what I mean,
That's the
5,
question,
10,
too.
15, how you gonna do it?
Right.
Well, I'll find out.
Could be, I mean, that'd probably be up to the county.
Well, we need to find out who it is on, if we can take it out of general, I mean, that's, just find out for sure before we put handbook.
Right.
But they're getting me a statute on that, that when I come in the meeting, they said they'd get it to me on that.
Okay, move on to number 6, discuss and consider digitizing records.
That was me again. I know, I have a lot of records, and I know Hannah has a lot of records that we need to get digitized. And we each have a preservation fund. I don't know how fast hers is growing, but mine is like growing at a snail's pace. I was just wondering, is there ever gonna be a time when the county might could help us out in paying to get our records digitized?
I think it'd be good, you know, in case of fire or anything else you had it. And I think Holly's kind of run her office up to paying and everything on like that, you know. But the record keeping would be good.
Well, I mean,
if we can.
Yeah, like my records are, some of them are just turned into dust.
Yeah, and it'd be a lot easier to, like you say, look them up and everything in
Oh,
case
yeah.
they had a
I
fire.
mean,
and
we're
everything.
entering them in as fast as we can
Yes, ma'am.
in all of our spare time, and I know y'all are doing the same thing, but it's a slow process. And there are companies that can do a mass import, but it's expensive.
Deal with
It's
it,
really expensive.
that's what I was gonna say, is that a pretty expensive deal or?
Well, in 2017, I'll just tell you this, we had about 1,000 probate cases imported, and it cost like at $20,000. And that was that many years ago. It was very expensive.
Probably 6 months ago, it's about $365 a book. Put us around 25 grand for our office.
Really?
And that's just the books that people normally pull. That's not any of the
Archives.
archive stuff.
Right.
So we'd have to really examine it.
Well, that's cheaper than I thought it'd be.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
And that's like 28 cents for them to scan it. That's 7 cents for it to be indexed, and then 8 cents per page for them to like store it.
it's cheap insurance, looks like.
Kind of like that body cam footage, we've got, the expensive part of it is the cloud storage.
What, to do yours, Tina, would it take a full-time hand, 2 years, 1 year? I mean, 40 hours a week, I mean, I don't
We
know.
have been entering in, since COVID and everything kind of got shut down, we've been entering in old records manually. And to this date, we still, I mean, I can't even imagine how many we don't have entered in. And that's been 5 years we've been entering them in. We've entered in about a third of our probate. We had a third of it done on that import, so I've still got a third of it that needs to be done. We've got probably half of our divorces. We've got our guardianships. And we get our protective orders because I want to be able to destroy them. These other categories I can't really get rid of. But they're falling apart, so that, you know, some action has to be done. I don't know that an employee could get it done in a year or 2 years. I mean,
You say 2
I would-
years, that'd be, say, benefits and all, 45,000 for a hand, I mean, $100,000.
but I can't promise
But
that
there's
they could get it done.
companies,
There are companies that can.
and when the company does it, you're also paying for the storage, is that what? So it's built into that. So if you paid a hand to do it, then you're still also having to pay somebody to have that
Well, our
stored.
system, when it's entered in, we're not paying for storage. I mean, we probably are, but it's part of our licensing fee per year.
But not for
Yeah.
you.
So we do pay, It is stored, I guess it's backed up with Kelpro, but we have some of our older records that aren't on OK County Records website that are being stored. They're stored in a vault in Kansas City. And that's who I got this quote from. It's, trying to think what the name of the company is. We all use them.
They actually have some of your paper records though.
No, they're stored on a disc in a vault underground. I can't remember the name of the company off the top of my head.
Are you paying?
Midwest Printing.
Oh, Midwest, okay.
Yeah.
Midwest is who came in and did our import with, they worked with Kelpro. And they came in and got the files and took them with them, they brought them back, but they did the scanning in and, entered in the names. They didn't enter in like each document name, like petition or order or whatever. They just entered in a line that says imported image.
Yeah.
You have to pull up the image to actually see what it is. It's not like the index is there or the docket sheet. But, I mean, that is expensive to do that. Like I said, in 2017, it was about $20,000 for about 1,000 files.
It's very necessary, though.
And I probably have another 1,000 probates that need to be entered. And then
That's one of the
Yes,
number
I
one
mean-
complaints that I get in my office is that Haskell County's stuff is not available online. So people travel from all over the country and have to come in person to dig in our
Yeah.
basement or our attic or in this room over here, because the stuff is not available
Right.
online.
Oh, I get that. I get those people too. And I understand, I mean, because everywhere else it is, and it's just, our preservation fund grows by about $400 to $500 a month. And I've been saving on it since 2021, and I've got about 22,000 saved up. And then it's supposed to end in 2027. That fee that grows my fund is supposed to end in 2027 by statute, unless they extend it. So, it's just something to think on, because it's a problem. I mean, it's an issue that we need to address.
And it takes time away from your daily stuff when people call and request documents and you've got to go pull them, scan them, email them. That's a lot of what we have to do.
So whether an employee or whether it's money to pay for a large import, it's money I don't have, and I know you don't have it either. So. And that's what it is.
Is there any chance of adding additional court costs to fines to kind of offset that?
I mean, the legislature says, but I mean, we can't just add it, no. The preservation fund fee that we have is, it's $10 and it's for a new divorce or a new civil, new probate. It's not every category that we file, and it's only when that petition is filed. That's where the $10 comes from. And it's not applied to every other court cost that we collect. It's just certain ones.
Which we do have a ballot measure, and we are collecting sales tax monthly for a care and keeping statute. And that's one of the things I think the county's been written off on previously, is how they have been using those funds. Things like this, the website, y'all's digitizing, those are things that sales tax money should be being used for, because it is government function and care and keeping. And we do collect, it's a quarter monthly. So, I mean, those were things that would be allowable expenses that would even look better and come up for audit.
Well, we'd have to look into it, just like Terry said, see
Yeah.
costs and stuff, and where to get it from, what'd be the best place.
Tim, would you be willing to talk to that grant writer and use it for the opioid stuff? 'Cause
I'll do it.
I
they'll-
was about to ask if anyone knew of any types
She'll-
of grants. or-
She'll look, I mean, they search that stuff and they gonna charge 10 points, but what's 10 points of nothing? if we don't get it, so I'll get y'all with her, and have her start looking for that stuff.
That'd be great.
I know on the historical records, because I know there is a historical funding
And there's a lot to be some of the Department of
for the
Agriculture
foundation.
on that historical stuff.
Yeah, I'd be willing.
Well, they're go-getters.
We'll move on to number 7. Discuss, consider updating county handbook and implementing policies and procedures to the county handbook.
We'll just have to wait till the auditors give us their findings and tell us their suggestions on the corrections to get us up to date.
Do we know when the audit's gonna be done?
I know, I figured the next month or so.
Okay.
You have any idea on it, or Hannah?
I think they're gonna be here maybe until the second week of February. That's kind of what they're thinking.
You'll be here with us a second.
But I don't know how long after that until they actually produce.
Produce findings.
Yeah.
I get they probably produce theirs upstairs, and then the Cindy office puts official ones out, I guess, don't they? Is that how it works? I think so.
This is my first audit, so.
Right.
Yeah, I know we've already gotten ours.
We'll get that major county one all at the same time, and they'll meet with all of us and ask if we understand what the findings are, and we understand what each individual office needs to do to get things in order.
And we'll have a chance to respond.
Oh, so
Yeah.
that is right, the auditors here, they keep their stuff up, and then they do the official.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've already done ours and done our responses.
Well, this will be a different one.
Well, this is our part of the countywide, so we went over ours and.
I swear that's not me meowing.
Yeah, and so, as to what the treasurer's office's part was. I know they do have one of the new county handbooks loaded online for samples as to what the state is recommending now. For everybody to kind of be on the same page, and so they uploaded a sample county handbook.
Move on to number 8. Anybody have any old business?
I wanted to ask Terry, have you decided on a date for an auction for your,
No, we hadn't got through inventorying all our guns that we can dispose, because we have to go through old cases and make sure the case is closed.
And the active shooter training.
Yeah.
You girls all been wanting that for, you got a date on that?
James is working on that. He's reached out to a couple of guys that come in from out of town to help put that on.
I know there's some sheriff's departments that do provide it. I mean, around Oklahoma City, I checked on it, and I don't know what they cost, but
Well, these guys that we're having come in, they don't charge us anything.
And I was curious
So I
also,
want to make sure nobody's carrying any guns whenever this happens.
on courthouse security right now, is there a designated courthouse security officer
Yes.
that we should see regularly in the courthouse?
He should be there almost every day.
police department would be?
they're definitely,
Colton Boston. He usually sits in the courtroom.
Okay, so Colton Lawson, can we get a phone number for
Sure.
him?
You ready for it?
Yes.
539-237-0583. And
I did see him in the courtroom one day.
I'll have him come by all the offices and visit with everybody and make himself known.
Okay.
Plus, we have Bobby Wingo downstairs all the time. And he tries to keep a good eye out.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
On that security stuff, how do y'all feel about employees carrying handguns?
I think they all ought to be carrying.
With training.
Which, I mean, with training, yeah, we give you guys the training. Be happy to do that, take you out to the firing range, let you shoot. But make sure everybody is,
As long as it's legal, because I was under the impression that only the elected officials could carry. And so there might be elected officials who aren't comfortable doing that. So I do think it'd be good to have, I know I've got one in my office that would be comfortable carrying a baton.
Baton,
Yeah. One of those sticks you beat people with.
blackjack.
Yeah.
You got the sawed-off shotgun handy?
I think that might be up to
I'm
the
one of those that's
commissioners,
not.
do you know, or?
I don't know, and I don't know what in memory jogs that, but for some reason I was under the impression that just elected officials. could
I've got
have
2
one.
employees that are firearms instructors that we can get everybody certified.
Well, we did have, on the district out there that, carry a handgun when they go out like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, get a call, treat
Yeah.
by that vehicle. And, they said it'd be up to the commissioner.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, because people are mean to you.
Yeah, well, I mean, you never know what they're gonna run
That's
into.
true.
We're sitting ducks.
That's. Any more no old business? Here, motion to adjourn. All right,
I'll make a motion.
a second.
Bill Cloud, Clark Clary,
Yes.
Larry Watson.
Somebody will have to make the motion for the commissioners meeting.
Oh, I thought we were doing the regular meeting.
Yeah, we're all in regular meeting. Yes, sir.
You call roll call, or were you calling for everybody on roll call? Okay.
Yeah.
And the, special meeting, I hear everybody.
I gotta finish the
Sorry.
regular elected officials. Larry Watson,
Yes.
Shawna Hudspeth,
Yes.
Terry Garland,
Yes.
Holly Hinton,
Yeah.
Tina Oaks, Tina Baker.
On the special meeting, I make a motion to adjourn.
Billy Cloud,
Yes.
Clark Clary,
Yes.
Larry Watson.
Yes.
Yes. I have, Terry, I need you to sign something